This question's in from Ron, and it's the old inflation versus deflation buy-in. He goes on to say that buying gold is a given since it will do very well in either eventually. He says hyperinflation proponents cite very compelling reasons for their conclusions, but for hyperinflation, does there not have to be an abundance of cash and credit in the hands of the consumer and a velocity of money? Given that the consumer is getting more poor and debt is defaulting, is this not a good argument for a deflating economy? We will have high prices on necessities due to a declining dollar, but he doesn't understand how this translates into hyperinflation.
Inflation can only be caused by the Federal Reserve, creating more money and credit than what the revenue and is coming into the country in the form of taxation and puffing up the economy, if you may. And all of the other stories that you hear about push-pull and price inflation, they're all caused by the same thing, the Fed. So if you can take that as a given, which you should, then the Fed, what is it doing? It's for 6 years. It has been increasing money and credit up until 2 years ago. Now they're increasing money and credit, and they're giving money away to banks, which will never get back again. And so they're saving the banking system and the Wall Street and the insurance companies. That's because they're all part of the same cult that started this thing in the first place, the Illuminati. And that is going to continue, and they're creating more money and credit than is needed to stop the deflationary pull, which is there all the time, and it's not going to go away for some years. And they're going to have to increase money and credit available, loans to the banks and the brokerage firms and the insurance companies, and maybe even nationalize industries like housing. They may end up owning all the houses that are on mortgage, which is half of them, and I wrote about the nationalization of houses 6 years ago. Nobody was listening. Beltway was, because they knew what I was talking about, and so they're just going to continue to create more money and credit until people, particularly businesses, refuse to borrow or can't borrow. And when that happens, and it will happen, deflation will take over and we will be swallowed up into probably one of the worst deflationary depressions of all time. And that's why we get on here 3 times a week. I do 30 hours of programming a week telling people the same thing. If you don't get gold and silver with the money that you have that is excess after you've done your defensive position at home, you are an idiot.
We do have a couple of questions today about gold coins. Bill wants to know where he can buy numismatic coins in Canada.
Well, you can buy, and Melody, you know this, you can buy numismatic coins in Canada. Dealers handle them.
Yeah, you have to go to your dealers. I know they're quite expensive up there, and they don't have a large selection and so forth. I mean, I do have Canadian buyers, but they usually will have a mailing place here in the States, you know, either family or friends, and, you know, that they trust, and then they'll come down and get them. And in fact, I have a customer that, you know, comes across the border every once in a while and pick them up. So, I mean, there's ways you can do it, but it is a little more difficult up there than down here. Well, yeah, check your dealers and shop around. And if you have, you know, if you're looking for something in particular, you can always drop me an email. Say, I found this coin at such and such a place, you know, when they want this, is it a good buy? And I'll tell you if it's a good buy or not, you know, if you're up there in Canada. So you can always do that. This question's in from Ernie. He wants to know in regards to numismatic gold coins from Mint State 61 through 70, which ones would I prefer as the coin that would have the greatest chance of increasing in most of the value? Would it make a difference if the coin was a Liberty or a St. Gaudens? The coins that you find today that are minted in the 70s, Mint State 69 and Mint State 70s, you know, they're not good. They're going to pretty much follow spot. I mean, those are modern issue coins. You want to stick with the Mint State 61s to 65, and if you want to pick up a 66 Saints, you can do that. The Liberties seem to perform greater than the St. Gaudens. There's more of them in the Mint State graded in the certified group of coins. So, but it's best to have a little bit of both. So, and the higher you go, the theory is the higher you go in the grade is the more you're going to get on your return. But yet when you get into the rare coins, that kind of takes that away from that theory. That really only involves the investment grade coins that we deal, the generic, the common date coins that you buy for investment. Because remember, folks, you're not collectors, so you don't want to buy collector coins. Maybe I am out of questions. I thought there was one more. And here's a person that bought some numismatic coins in 2002 at $500 each. Did he pay too much? I really don't know. I mean, I have to pull prices out way back, and I can't. I have a pretty good memory, but not all the way back to 2002. So, I mean,
well, it all depends on where you bought them, and if you would put that in, we'll tell you how much you get ripped off.
He probably did pay too much because back in, but he's making money now, even though he paid too much back in 2002. And here's another question that came in. What is behind Obama's attack on Fox News, Chamber of Commerce, and insurance companies?
Well, Fox News has been very critical of the administration. And so I can understand he's going to be critical. And what was the second and third parts of that?
Chamber of Commerce and the insurance companies.
I haven't heard what their comments are, so I can't say. I haven't been following that aspect of it.
Well, you would think that the insurance companies would be against his health reform.
Oh, yeah, health insurance. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the insurance companies are a terrible ripoff, and that's bad. There's no question. We have a system that needs to be fixed, but the government is not the one to fix it. The government should institute laws which prohibit health providers from ripping the public off. That's a simple answer. And, of course, everybody in Washington's bought off, with minor exception, and so you're not going to get any legislation because they're all paid off.
I don't know why he'd be after the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe because
yeah, well, they said something.
Huh?
They did say something about something he was doing. Anyway, we're almost off.
And yes, we are. We heard the notice there. And Bob, you're going to be joining us on Tuesday, so you listeners will be doing a full hour tomorrow with Bob tomorrow, Tuesday, at 4 o'clock. And Wednesday, we're switching out to Wednesday, and it's just this week. After this week, we'll get back to the normal program. So until then, be safe, have a great day, and God bless. Thank you, Bob.
Okay.